Good morning, guys. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed that little video. I mean, I know it's little, but it's hard to show y'all stuff that I have to wear, to properly show y'all. And I don't know how to edit videos. Y'all know I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I don't know how to edit videos. That's something I don't know how to do. I have tried. It frustrates me, so I leave it at that. You get what you get. I never claimed to be a superstar. I still don't know what I'm doing most of the time. We just wing it with a hope and a prayer around here. So I was like, all right, let's put together a little thing and show you what I've been working on and stuff like that. So, I'm going to try to do those throughout, maybe every now and then, sprinkle some of that in there. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. So, y'all, the last couple of days have been rough. Really rough. Thursday night and, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday started. Wednesday, Thursday started. Friday night, Saturday night, I didn't sleep. And I thought, oh no, the medicine has gone off the walls again. But I noticed that I had the internal shakes. Well, I'm always shake. My hands always shake. Really bad. Not really bad, but noticeable for me. And I noticed that my internals were shaking really pretty good. And when I would try to lay down, my whole leg would just shake. And I didn't understand why. I felt horrible. I was like, should I go to the emergency room? What should I do? And I know a lot of people are like, well, just go to your doctor. I go to a place, it's a clinic technically. And it's a PA. So I refuse to leave her. I've been with her for a very, very long time. And once I'm with somebody that I really like in a medical situation, I stick with them. Even though I live in Abilene and they have amazing doctors here, I refuse to leave mine. So, and she just refers me out if need be. So, I was like, that's why I'm sometimes ask myself, should I go to the emergency room? But I was like, I'm not in a real emergency, but I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I was like, you know what? It's my knee. It's coming from my knee. My body was trying to tell me that, hey, you're in so much pain. We're trying to let you know you're hurting. and you're like, well, Sunshine, if you're hurting, you're going to know about it. No, not all the time. There's a lot of times I don't know because my pain tolerance is super high. And sometimes my body has to get my attention. And I think that's what it was. Because it was bad. It was really bad. When you're, and I don't even know why I would get pain in that knee because they've been replaced. But I'm going to go talk to my ortho that did my knees and see if I've got arthritis in there. Something's going on to cause that situation because I don't like that. It was not cool. So anyway, last night I went to bed at like 7 o'clock. We both went to bed about 7:38 and I slept till 4. That was good enough for me. I was like, yes. And when he left to go to work, I went and laid down for another hour. So I was like, yay. But the point of all that long drawn out story is pay attention to your body. Because sometimes you don't realize something's going on and then you're like, whoa, okay, this is what's going on. I know that's the case for me. So, anyway. So, what have I been up to? Well, Texas, she played a good one. Last week was the most amazing weather ever. I don't know if that was the week of our cool. We usually get 2 days to a week of cool weather. That's absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know if that was it or if we're getting another one, because this week it's going to be hotter than heck. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make all the things, and I don't care. So I found this while cleaning up stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. Remind me that's what we're going to talk about. There's so much to talk about. I know I need to do more videos if I'm going to have to. Anyway, so I found this yarn while cleaning up. And I was like, you know what? I really want to do a hooded cow. Do I need a hooded cow in Texas? No. But I wanted one. And that's what crochet is about. Is just do what you want. Just do what you want. So I made it this one. And that's the way hooded cow, I mean, you know, this yarn is so yummy. Love this yarn. And it's long enough that I made a hood with it, obviously. And you don't have, it doesn't have to be a hood. I mean, it doesn't have to go over your head. There's enough here to just sit right here at your neck. And then enough to pull up as a hood if you wanted to. So I did that. My crochet cardigan is coming along really nicely too. I don't know what the bottom is or the top is at this moment. Anyway. Isn't that gorgeous color? Uh-oh, what was that? Oh, those are my glasses. Now, I know it looks like a giant rectangle right now. And it's going to till I put it goes up to a back panel. And then it goes to the front panel, all in one piece. And then you just seam it. So, you know, it's kind of like that way, if that makes sense. Also, I've only got one left. I got to get on Temu and order some, sorry, I hate when my hair's on me. It bugs me. So I ordered on Temu a set of these. Now, this is basically paper that's been laminated with a sticky board. You know, it's got sticky on it. So I didn't know how they would come out. I was like, oh, this isn't probably good. But I was surprised. But I'm going to have to order one of those things that organizes the jewels, because I'm trying to do it in this with the open baggies, which has not been good because spills happen. So I'm not going to, you know, not right now. I've got so much stuff. I'm trying to save up because I've got to get a set of tires. I've already got 2 tires. I've got to get just 2 more and get that done. So and these crosses, I was pleasant. Is that, you know what I'm trying to say? These have special jewels, like, and they use a lot of AB diamonds. Let me show you is this the right way? I don't know. Anyway, AB which is the extra sparkle. I don't know the technical term, but it's really sparkles. So here is the ones I've done so far. See, like here, that's the extra, that's the specialty one. I don't know why this camera's not picking that up. But, oh, we dropped some. Like, this is here's one that's the specialty. Maybe if I get my face out of it. So I was, uh-oh, why is my elbow sticking to that? I was pleasantly surprised. I saw some ones that are Christmassy, kind of, and like here's a specialty one too. It's not going to show. Like gingerbread houses and stuff. But I don't know how well that's going to relate when they're this small. Is it going to look really, really muddy? Or are you going to be able to tell that it's a gingerbread house? You know what I'm saying? So, this one, right, I can't remember what the price was for the whole set, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Look how beautiful that is. Now, they do have up here, so you can hang them. It came with some like goldish rope looking stuff. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to get something different to hang those. I may hand them out at church, or say, you know, if they want one, they can have one or whatever. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. I feel like it could be used in my ministry. I've got to go get sealer too. I know a lot of people say, oh, just use Mod Podge. Well, I actually looked up to see what, I don't want to call them professional diamond painters, but the people that you see promoting the stuff, the people creating the diamond paintings, what they're using, and it's, I've already talked about this, so we're not going to go into detail about that, but it's a Minwax type product, and it's for that stuff, and I'm going to go get a can of that and spray them and see how well that goes. I know you can get Mod Podge glossy, but if there's a product made for something, then that's what I want to do. And I know Mod Podge is more of the budget-friendly stuff, but I have used Mod Podge on big diamond paintings. I'm just not impressed with it. That's something it made it look really bad. And yes, I got glossy, but I'm not a fan of Mod Podge. I know. So, anyway, you'll notice this thing's gone. I decided that I want to redo my yarn section. A lot of that yarn was Red Heart, and it was donated to me. And so I used a lot of the yarn that's been donated. I have used a lot. But it was stuff that I knew that I'm not thrilled about using. And I wasn't going to sell it because that's not how I roll. If it gets donated to me, it's going to get donated forward. So there's a friend in from church, sweetest person ever. She's so sweet. And I asked her, do you use a lot of acrylic in yours? And she goes, oh yeah. She goes, oh yeah. I said, would you like some of this? And she goes, you don't mind? And I said, not at all. Not at all. I said, I've seen your work. You do great stuff. And I would love to pass it on. She goes, yeah, I'll take whatever you can. And so I grabbed a good chunk of it and I passed it on to her. And I kept a good chunk. And then the rest of it gave to her. And I'm glad I took that down because I learned something very valuable. If your yarn is out in the open, the dust that collects is bad. Now, they weren't ruined by any means. They were still good yarn. But I didn't know how dusty things were getting. And I'm glad I found that out before it got too late. And I'm glad that thing's down. So it looks a lot better over there. And so I put what I had in clear tote, the big clear totes. And that's a better way for me to do it right now. I don't know what my next solution is. I don't know how to organize it, but I know this. Here's what's going to happen. Because this is what I was talking to Hot Stuff about. I don't want to have yarn laying around just to have yarn laying around. I know that I want to find a project and then go buy the yarn for it. With that being said, I know that there's only 2 brands I want to start using because I love those brands and they're really good for me. Does that make me a yarn snob? Probably, but I don't care because I know I don't want to waste money on yarn that I know that I don't like, that I'm not going to like just because it's cheap. So the main one is Big Twist. Big Twist comes in a lot of colors, a lot of fiber weights, different fibers. It's a line of yarn that I can pull from any section and be okay with. So, Big Twist is going to pretty much cover all my bases. It's affordable and it's really good yarn. I did that one sweater, the gray and the pink one with the Red Heart. I think it was Red Heart. And it was just bulky and it was boxy and I hated it. And then I started doing the other cardigans with Big Twist. And that first one was done with Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. The Hobby Lobby, I love this yarn, and Big Twist Value have the same texture. So I know I want to use Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. They have I Love This Yarn Cotton, Little Yarn. They have it throughout. That's a very, very easy yarn to get a hold of. And the color selection is amazing. So, but it's expensive. So Big Twist is going to be where it's at for me. And then Hobby Lobby if I need something different. Because here's the thing. There's no reason for me to have all this yarn laying around. There's really not. It's just creating chaos and anxiety that I don't need. So to do it, to have yarn, to just have yarn is not the way I want to go. If I find a project, I want to map it out like I do. I map out all my projects. Like this one I'm working on right now. You know, I map it to where it has how many yardages and how much yarn I'll probably need. Now, I don't take this 100% as gospel because they're using a 5mm hook on this, right? So they're using, when they use 5mm hook, they need about 1,370 yards of yarn, right? Well, I'm using a 7mm hook. When you change your hook, you've got to keep in mind that that's going to change your yardage. So, for them, they needed that much yarn, right? So for me, using a 7mm hook, I'm going to need a lot more yarn. So, you know, you got to pay attention if you're swapping hooks like that and stuff. And I kind of, okay, say a pattern says this and this, and you map it out, and it ends up being like 5 skeins of yarn. For me, I know that I tweak the pattern, or even if you don't tweak the pattern, let me scratch that, back it up. Say that the pattern calls for 5 skeins of yarn. I will always buy 7. You always want to buy a little bit more, because if you buy that yarn and then run out, the discontinue rate is really high. So if you start a project and you take your time and crochet, and it takes a couple months to get where you're going, and then you run out of yarn, the likelihood of you being able to go get that yarn again is not so good. So the thing I'm telling you is, and I promise I'm going to wrap it up, guys. The thing I'm telling you is, you know, they say buy a lot of yarn to match dye lots. Okay, dye lots don't always match. I buy the yarn so that I can have the yarn to finish the project. And if I'm doing a jacket for myself or something wearable, I'm always going to pick up extra yarn because I am a bigger girl. That's the way it is. And I want to make sure I have plenty. So the thing on that is just not only for dye lots, but to make sure, just to make sure. And the worst case scenario, you have a little extra for your stash. And I just said we didn't want to have stuff laying around. But this yarn, I don't mind a couple skeins here and there because I can put them in totes. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all enjoy your week. I'm going to stay right here like per usual because it's going to get hot out there. Like, we're going to go back to close to 100 again. But at least I have air conditioning. I have water. You know, the guys that are reeling from the hurricane don't have that luxury right now. And it breaks my heart. It really does. So I love you guys. Take care. And we'll talk to you soon.